Hey guys, we are back here live with the conversation piece. We are on the move. We are always moving. We are always going. So if you would like to be a part of this show, please email us at 2020conversationpiece at gmail.com. Again, I am your host, Mershele Brown. Like I said, we are on the move. So if you were on my page on Facebook on yesterday, you saw a recap of an old show with Miss Alicia Brown. She was here a couple of years ago. I think it was right before the pandemic, and she was talking to us about recovery claims. And so now we're over the pandemic, but still in a pandemic, so don't get it twisted. But we have some other things that we're going to talk about. She has a new company. I'm so excited for her. Yes. God is doing great things. He has never stopped. We might stop, but he does not stop. So that is a peaceful conversation to have. So guys, if you are with us live on Instagram, you're live with us on Facebook, you have any questions, kind of put them in the chat. We'll try to get to those questions. But we're going to be talking about some good health care issues like wellness. We're going to be talking about finance. We're talking about the 7 pillars of wellness. So I have today with me Miss Alicia Brown and Miss Jennifer here today. They are the head and the lead and the ladies in charge with Edgecare 360. Yeah. If you don't know, you will know, okay? So stay tuned, listen up. If you have, like I said, if you have any questions, email the show, 2020 Conversation Piece. We will get with you. We're at Gmail. We will get those questions answered for you if we can't answer them on the show. But ladies, how y'all been doing? Hey, don't they look beautiful? They got to be blessed amongst one. So again, thank you for our affiliates in Las Vegas. V News, thank you so much, Miss Vanessa. Girl, you are the bomb.com. So we are on not only the East Coast, we are also live on the West Coast, guys. So I thank you, everybody, for tuning in, but we're going to jump right into it because we only have about 25 minutes to get a lot of information out. So we're going to be talking about the 7 pillars of wellness, and they're going to tell you on each pillar the importance of knowing and the importance of understanding your wellness, your finances, your environmental, your social, your physical, your emotional, all those pillars we're going to talk about today. Right? I got it, right? So Miss Alicia, we'll start with you. You know the last shall be first. So Alicia, what gave you this concept to bring this to us? I know mental health is really a big issue. Working out in the fields, working in the streets of Atlanta, I see it a lot. But you don't see a lot of resolutions and resources to get the help that they need. Right. So what brought you to this level?
I'm going to tell you, life, the pandemic, personal issues, all those things have brought me to this point. My goal now is to understand the heart of the matter, to get to the root of the issue, even with me. And so understanding mental health and mental wellness is so important. And then being able to utilize those things for yourself and see how they can work is amazing when you're working with people because you've already been there. So that's one of the reasons or how we've gotten to to understand the 7 pillars. And I know me and Jennifer have some stories similarly, and we've utilized those things to help us grow. So God is good. We have moved on, pressed on. We have a new business, Edgecare 360, and we utilize those pillars to help our clients get to their best self.
That's right. And speaking on that, let's talk about like number 1, emotional and mental wellness. Let's talk about that.
You know, my partner Alicia, she stumbled a little bit when she said mental healthness.
That too.
But you guess what? When you think about your mental health and your wellness, you put that together, and that's healthness. Our emotional and mental states are so important when it comes to just getting to that version of you that you want to be.
Exactly.
The 7 pillars, it starts with emotional wellness, and it goes into spiritual, physical, environmental, social, occupational, financial, because all of those things fall under your mental wellness. We don't think about the connections to all of those domains in our life, but it's very important. And for some of us, it's a little hard to even consider that we may need some assistance when it comes to our mental and emotional wellness. But I'm here to tell you, everybody does, including us. As therapists, we have to have some support when it comes to our emotional wellness.
Absolutely. You find it to be, especially in our environment, right, in the Black community.
Yes.
It seems like a stigma to not want to talk about that thing. And sometimes we have a lot of the issues. And because we don't want to talk about it, or we don't want to share what we're going through, we get stuck in there. So it becomes an emotional thing for us. And then we're fighting that emotional thing, which deals with our mental, which knocks off our whole wellness. I mean, you gain weight or you lose weight, you get good attitude or you have a bad attitude. Right. That emotional thing, that mental thing is really a bad thing. Especially if some people, my grandmother would always say it best, I tell you, some people are sick and don't even know they're sick.
Don't even know they're sick.
Don't even know they're sick, and they're not understanding that wellness of that. I just found out just recently, with having a hysterectomy knocks off your whole chemistry.
Yep.
It knocks off everything, and it has you having mental issues and anxieties and things that you never had beforehand, but don't know how to deal with that. And you blame it on the husband, or you blame it on the kids, and you don't even know it's through your own wellness.
You're exactly right.
And wellness is so important. So let's talk about that, the spiritual part of that. Okay. What is the balance of that for the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual?
Thinking spiritually is having a connection and understanding your relationship with God is very important. And the other part of that is how you think, your positive thinking. You know, and the Bible tells you to think on these things, whatsoever is lovely, whatsoever is good report. You know, it tells you to think those things, but there's a reason behind it. Because when your thoughts change and you are spiritually connected and you're on the positive side of health, and you're thinking how well you can be, the life that you want to live, and you're focusing on those things of being better, then your body responds to better.
Absolutely.
If you focus on things that are negative and constantly bringing you down, and people in those same areas,
right,
then your body responds to worse or unhealthy or bitter. So the thing is getting that balance, because while you can't control the environment, you can control what goes on between your ears, your mental. You have the ability to change anything just by how you think. So spiritually is very important because it's everything. It's life. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. When I think about spiritual wellness, most people hear the word spiritual and they start thinking about church.
Right.
The spiritual is deeper than that. It's a connection to your being aware of yourself as well. So self-awareness is very important when it comes to having a healthy outlook or a healthy view of the world and yourself emotionally. So I think back to Shelby when she said stuck. The word stuck just kind of resonated with me, because that's what happens when you find yourself in a thought process. You feel like you can't go forward, you can't go backwards, you can't go sideways, and you just can't. You imagine being on an escalator and the escalator stops. And there's a video online like that, and I've seen it. It's like the escalator stops, and you're standing there like, somebody call for the escalator repairman. All you got to do is walk up the steps.
But you got to think.
But because there's so much going on, right, you can't even think that all I gotta do is put one foot in front of the other.
Right.
So understanding how all that ties to your emotional wellness, those 7 pillars all link to that together.
Right.
So,
Well, I know how it is with on the escalator, girl. Because if you've ever been to Atlanta, they have one of the escalators. It's so, I mean, the steps are so many steps to go from the basement to the sky.
yes.
And it stopped on me one time.
See,
I couldn't think to walk because there was too many steps.
But what
I
was
like,
it?
oh my God.
what was holding you?
What was holding you back?
The only thing, it was actually, it was me losing breath getting to the top. So that even takes us into our next pillar, number 3, physical health. You gotta have it. I'm telling you, this. But even with saying that, like you said, spiritual. Whatever so a man thinketh, so is he.
Right.
So if you think good of yourself, then you shall be.
Right.
If you think negative of yourself, then that will show up as well. So we do have to maintain that transformation of the mind. The mind has to be transformed to wealth, transformed to success, transformed to healthy living, healthy eating, healthy everything. Because sister going up them steps, it was a whole lot of steps. I couldn't think fast enough because I was so tired. I rode up 3 steps and I had 50 more to go. I was like, oh Lord, how am I gonna make it? Rescue. I was trying to call 511. Heroes. But yes, spiritual is most definitely. But physical health, that's our next pillar, number 3. Most definitely physical. Girl, child, I'm telling you, I got on the floor, couldn't get up. I fall and can't get up. But you gotta have that physical health.
Definitely have to have that physical
Absolutely.
health. And that physical health can be anything from the way you eat, the way you just being intentional about yourself.
Sleep.
Your sleep is so important.
If God took a rest, we got to.
We have to take a rest. And being aware when your physical wellness is being interrupted.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we think, I can live on 2 hours of sleep and I can still function. But can you though?
Not good.
Health,
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. You're functioning, but are you functioning well?
Absolutely.
You're living your best life.
Exactly.
Right.
So self-awareness it falls in under the physical wellness, your spiritual wellness, your emotional and mental wellness. That is one of the key points. You gotta understand that I can't survive off of 2 hours of sleep.
Right.
I probably need to eat a salad today because I had
Yeah,
cheeseburger yesterday.
Can't eat that honey bun.
The thing too,
What you put into your body.
but understanding how it makes you feel when you do it.
Yes, that's exactly.
And so being in tune with the feeling. For example, I know that I cannot eat pork.
Yes.
It makes me sweat. It makes me feel bad.
That's right.
I have to drink tons of water. I know that. I don't like that feeling. My heart starts burning. So why would I then eat a whole bunch of pork?
Self-awareness.
It's self-awareness, understanding and appreciating your body for what it's capable of so that you can be your best self. So, and just getting in tune with yourself is very important, right?
Right, and you can live your best life, especially when you physically fit, spiritually fit. Oh my God, your emotional wellness comes into play as well as your mental wellness.
That's right.
So, how important is the environmental?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Well, tell us about it.
Early.
Your whole personality. Well, part of your personality. Let's put it to you that way. Your environment helps shape that. And it continues to be impacted by not just what your mom and daddy did and your auntie and uncle did. It continues to be impacted by now you're older, your friends, who you're around,
That's right.
Who are you in relationship with, So making sure that you're able to be aware, is this environment something that is it healthy for me? Is there some things that I need to change?
Yes.
And how do I do that? And having the tools to be able to do those things is important as well.
Absolutely.
Not being afraid to ask for that help, not being afraid to go out and seek some type of mental health or emotional wellness. Notice we didn't just say mental health, we said emotional wellness.
That's right.
Yes.
Because especially with women, we're so emotional. We so get in our feelings, but I have learned lately, it's a lot of men out there doing the same thing. If not even more.
Yes.
It's not even more because, I found it to be a lot of men are single parents.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know how to deal with the nurturing side of that for the children and don't know where to go to get that support. And that's exactly what they be needing, is that emotional support within their environment. So they can be physically ready to take care of them little babies and curing it.
And you're right, because when it comes to, and if we think about the brain, and we think about it in two parts. You have the emotional side and you have the rational side, right? So the emotional side, it can be so overwhelming and so powerful. And I'm so angry, and it's driving you.
Right.
Anger is a normal emotion.
Right.
Let's understand that. We all have it. It's meant for us to be, it's meant for us to survive. That's what anger is supposed to be.
That's right.
But we have this rational side too. Here is where we're supposed to live, where that rational side and that emotional side intersect. In the middle, there should be a balance.
Yes.
And sometimes we have those impacts from your environment, how you are affected when it comes to your spirituality, your emotional wellness. Those things impact your emotional side, and therefore you allow that to drive you, and you don't even know how to access that middle part where they intersect and where there's a balance.
Right.
And sometimes we need somebody to help guide us to that center.
Right.
Guide us back to center.
That's
Yes.
right. And we can't be afraid,
Can't be afraid.
because God is not a fear. Power, love, and a sound mind.
Yes,
But we can't be afraid to reach out for the support that we need.
that's right.
Now we're going to go into another pillar, which is number 5. And I love this one because we like this one. And this is how the conversation piece came about: social health. We're losing it. We're so losing it to the cell phones and the gamers and the gaming and all those things that are set up, spiritual things set up in high places to bring us down. The worldwide net. Come on, the internet. Come on, it's to get you caught up.
Yes.
It's to get you caught up and bound in something that God never intended. So let's talk about social. How important
It's
social.
It's very important. We are all social beings. We were born to be
Socialized.
Yes.
Yes, I mean from the time that you smack on the behind, you are being social.
Yeah.
The thing is, with social for me, it's about connecting and finding good, healthy relationships that are supportive and that guide you to a better you. It's about understanding and respecting other people for who they are and not who you want them to be.
Yeah.
We are so stuck on who everybody should be. And I know my Bible, I don't know the Bible everybody else reads. Mine says, be of the world, but in the world, but not of the world. Right? And that you are supposed to be uniquely set apart from
others.
Right?
That's
so
right.
That doesn't mean you don't interact. It doesn't mean you can't have a Facebook, but it does mean you have to set boundaries and limits, understand what your boundaries are so that you can remain healthy. A lot of people have triggers that cause them to react to things that they see on these websites and the ways that people treat them. Understand your triggers, understand your limits, understand that there are limits that you need to set for yourself and other people so that not only you can be supportive and a healthy avenue for someone, but you're also understanding and receiving that for yourself. The most important person that you need to make sure is receiving love and respect is you. So if you don't love and respect and take care of yourself first and make sure that you're healthy and happy, you can't give it to anybody else. So set the limits, set the boundaries, make sure that you are in a space that is giving and receiving. Reciprocity is everything.
Absolutely. Well, let's go into occupational and vocational. Tell me
talk about that too, right? This is me.
I mean, because you have to love. have to love what you do or you never go to work.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't love what you do, you're going to work.
Uh-huh.
And you're gonna feel some kind of way about it when you get there. Everybody get on your nerves. It's always a problem. Everybody but you. And you have to sometimes look at yourself to change yourself in your occupation, in your vocation.
You're exactly right. You're exactly. I'm because people tend to look at work as, oh, I'm going to work, and don't understand that we all have choices.
That's right.
And everything, I know I keep saying self-aware. It's because sometimes you're not even aware of your strengths. You need someone to help you identify what they are.
That's right.
And you will find yourself falling into your passion more or less, following into like a job. You'll find yourself, and even if you're at a job, you'll find a way to turn that job into something that you love, because you're thinking about what gives me joy instead of thinking about, oh gosh, I hate going to work today.
Right, and you can tell. You can tell when someone loves what they do and they love their job. They always smiling. Now, I don't know if them people at QT and Chick-fil-A really love their job, but I'm telling you, if I want to get a smile from someone, I go to QT or I go to Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is one of the world's examples when it comes to you think about fast food restaurant as like a job for teenagers, but there's adults there. They're happy to see you when they come, and you feel it, and that's exactly, and that's why you have such long lines at Chick-fil-A, because people come for the experience. If you really taste the food, it's all right.
It's all right. I had it before I came to Chick-fil-A. Shout out to you,
Chick-fil-A. Exactly. But I mean, it's good. But the people keep you coming back. With those smiles, and I'm sure they're intentional. They're not like, okay, I'm so happy every day, because there's going to be things that are going to come against you. You're going to have an argument with somebody or something, but you get to make a choice on how you show up every day.
Right, because they get mad because you got to pay for that third jelly. They get mad about it.
Exactly.
But they be like, it's okay.
But even then, they're respectful. They don't. If you say, I don't want to pay 5 cents for that, well, go ahead on take.
Right. Yeah.
They're not going to argue with you. That means good customer service. They understand customers are always right and all that good stuff. They have good training with that. But guess what? I call that not just training. They got good tools to prepare them for their roles to work at Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Which the same thing for each and every one of us. We have roles in life that we have to, fulfill. From mommy to daddy to sons. We all have roles that we walk in, and sometimes we just need some reminders of our strengths and some added tools to help us walk that role to the best of our ability.
Absolutely. Okay, so we had pillar number 7. So we're going to zoom in on this one most definitely, because this one has been an issue, especially since the pandemic. Financial. I mean, when your finances ain't right, I don't care. You ain't smiling, you got a problem. It's an issue. Mental health. I'm emotionally distraught. My money ain't right, you gonna hear about it, I'm telling you. So let's talk about the financial part, because right now it's a lot. Yeah. With a lot of people, I see so many people that I've never seen before homeless. Mm-hmm. I've seen so many people, one paycheck, or even a half a paycheck, from being homeless, and they're for fear, and they have these children, and they're really out here, and that's messing with their mental health.
Right.
So let's talk about that real quick, since we have a few more minutes left.
Well, financial, actually, all of those pillars roll into finances. They're all interrelated. They're all connected in some way, but they all roll into finances. And when you're not financially healthy, it affects everything, right? So the thing is with financial wellness, it's about the root stem of it can be from your environment. What were you taught? Mm-hmm. What were you taught when you were little? What did they smack your hand for? And it could have been for dreaming too big. You could have got smacked. For example, I was telling Jennifer. I was saying that I was going to get a Mercedes, and the first thing that my environment says to me is, can you afford the gas? Are you sure about the maintenance? And I'm like, for me, my financial wellness tells me I can, because I included the gas, I included the insurance, and I included the maintenance with all of it. So when I say that Lisa or Alicia can afford it, Alicia has already thought about that part. but we don't understand that. A lot of people will go and purchase a car. They just worried about insurance and the cheapest one at that. And then, they can't afford the car, and then the car note is $8,000 a month, and the insurance is $2,000. And they're like, well, if I go work at Popeyes, there's tools that you can use that can help you keep your financial wellness and can affect all those other ones that, all those other emotions that come into play. Because we know you're probably thinking, well, how is spiritual related? Because that's who you're praying to pay it. Want that car note because you can't afford it.
So you have responsibility.
No, and hell. So the thing is,
and the belief in yourself
And
is
yourself.
strength. Yes, because when you have that spiritual connection, you also increase that belief in yourself that you can do these things.
right. But we have some tools for that. Some ways in which that you can increase your financial health and wellness, and then can help you with all those other pillars as well. And trust me, finance is not everything. It is a big thing. So we have a couple of things that Jennifer would like to
Well, so, when it's just like when she was talking about financial wellness and how it connects to everything from emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, environmental, social, occupational, and vocational. All those things tie into your financial wellness, because when you think about it, as we were growing up, and we're women of color here, so we're experts on being women of color.
Absolutely.
We weren't taught, some of us weren't taught a lot of things to prepare us for finances. That's why you have some people who win the Powerball and then they're broke within a year because nobody taught them what to do with it.
Absolutely.
Or you have people who are working every day at Chick-fil-A or Popeyes or wherever, and they're buying these very expensive cars, and then they're living in places where the roofs are dilapidated, but they got a nice car parked in the driveway, and they're only like one payment away from the repo man coming to get that, because it's not their fault. They were not taught what to do. There are several tools, and I'm just going to give you one that I subscribe by, and whenever my daughter graduated from college, is something that I taught her, and she's doing very well. She's a mental health practitioner in North Carolina as well. But she had it's 50-30-20 rule. And if you, whenever you're going for a job, the one thing for us is it's hard to say what we're worth. When we're sitting in front of the person who's interviewing us, and they say, how much do you think you would want? It's the hardest thing for us as women of color and some men of color to be able to say, I'm worth this. So this formula helps you be prepared for that. Because if you know how much your rent is, how much your car payment is, how much your utilities is, that should be 50% of whatever your income is. So if you make $100,000, then you got $50,000. That means you can get a really nice house and a really nice car, and and you'll be able to pay for it. And then you got $50,000 that you can allocate 20% to your savings. 30% can be entertainment. You see how you can live well still?
Absolutely.
You can still live well.
Absolutely.
You can still live well. But you're prepared, and even I do nice round numbers because I am terrible at math. But
it works. The numbers are right. I checked them.
Yes, but you do this with whatever your financial situation is, and therefore you're not trying to get rent for $2,400 a month. And you know that when you step in front of an potential employer, I can't walk out of here making less than $50,000 because I gotta have $25,000 for this. So you know what you're worth before you even step in front of somebody. And that's just one tool. I can't go through them all. There's other tools to help you.
Also, people like Google. You can always go online and find tools. I know my niece called me the other day. She wanted to get a car. She's been working for a while. She's trying to understand that whole thing with credit, and I went through some of those credit issues, things that people are dealing with. And she was saying that she wanted to get a car loan, and we walked through it. And I said, well, let me ask you this: did you ever think about a personal loan? And she goes, what? And I said, well, if you get the personal loan, then you pay the car off, and usually a personal loan, you pay less. So why don't we start looking at those options? I can get a personal loan, why can't you get a personal loan? What would keep you from it? Because then that's the root of your issue, and we need to address that before you think about getting a loan.
Absolutely.
So the thing is know your options and stop limiting yourself as to what you're capable of. You are capable of doing anything you want to do.
Yes, you can do all
Within
things.
reason. All things.
Within reason, but it all comes down to
Education.
education and self-awareness. So
Self-awareness.
you just have to be aware of where you're at and find yourself, and we're not saying that you have to come to Edgecare, but find yourself a good counselor and coach who can meet you where you're at and help take you on the path where you want to go.
Amen. So ladies, can you please give them your information? Give them your information on how they can contact you. I'm sure they'll be doing some forums, they'll be doing some clinics, they'll be doing information, whatever you need. Contact them, give them your contact information, please.
Sure. You can reach us at
Edgecare360.com, Edgecare360.com, EDGECARE360, the numbers.com. You can call us at 770-933-5328, and we would be more than happy to assist you. This is our licensed clinical social worker, Jennifer Edge.
and this is Alicia Brown, who is an MBA and our absolutely best life coach you would ever want to meet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can also send us an email at edgecare360@gmail.com.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for being on the conversation piece. This was an awesome conversation, guys. I hope that you all took something from this and were able to capitalize on it. But at the end of the day, get your mind right. Get your mind right so our wellness can be right. We can be totally wellness. You change your mind, you change your life. Okay, so I thank you so much for our affiliates out in Vegas on the West Coast. Thank you so much, Vanessa and the crew. Thank you so much, Instagram and Facebook, guys. I thank you all. We are live for real. So please like and share. Thank you for my new camera guy, Mr. Darius. I'll be checking with him on next Tuesday at 2. So please stay tuned. If you would like to be a guest on the show, please contact me at 678-468-9487. Again, that number is 678-468-9487. I would love to have you on the show, either the Answer Those Show Testimonies from Charles Strang or the Conversation Piece, where we have healthy, peaceful conversations that will help you better your life. So may God bless you and keep you until the next time. See you later. God bless you guys.
God bless you.
Yeah, that was good.